The offense coming free and easy as we wrap up the first quarter. Spurs lead by 7. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment.
This Friday night, February 20th.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Spurs?
And the key is you're looking.
A look here for the Pistons. Drummond's checked in for Sean Williams. Martin comes in for Caldwell Pope. Reggie Jackson's checked in for Meeks. And it's White in for Brandon Jennings. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Bonner, he's checked in for Duncan. Bellinelli comes in for Kawhi Leonard. Mills, he's checked in for Manu Ginobili. And Tony Parker is subbed in for Corey Joseph. On the court right now for the Spurs, Tony Parker is out there with Mills. Then there's Bellinelli. Then there's Boris Diaw. And it's Bonner in at the 5 spot. Diaw, the screen. And stolen by White. Here's Jackson. The post-to-post dunk.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark Power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
The dish to Diaw. Back to Parker. Oh, that's blocked. There's 25 seconds left to play here in the half. Here's White. And that one's on target from the wing. And now it's a 3-point Piston lead.
You know, it looks like they've recalibrated their approach away from trying the 3-ball.
Now, they started out pretty slow from downtown, so I think this is the right adjustment. Try to get the ball inside, go to something new.
Diaw. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
How about that play? Great body control, still manages to finish the play despite the contact.
You know, when that whistle blows, you're not done. Get greedy and find a way to knock it down.
Here's White. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him.
All right, thank you.
Okay, guys, let's focus and get down to business. Now, here's a few things I took away from the first half.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the... So, for the Pistons, Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Monroe. Jackson comes in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And Lucas subbed in for Brandon Jennings. Then for the Spurs, Bellinelli, he's checked in for Duncan. Corey Joseph comes in for Manu Ginobili. That's Mills in for Tony Parker. We got Sean Williams. Lucas is out there with Jackson. Then there's Andre Drummond, and it's Meeks in at the small forward. That's the group for Detroit right now. White, he's checked in for Detroit. When you struggle, you do everything you can to get back on track, and Clark, his teammates, joined him in a pregame shoot-around before this one.
Well, I think that's really, Kevin, an example of two players doing everything they can to make sure that they don't fall into the habit of being satisfied or complacent with their game. You've got to really applaud and respect that.
There was a recent report that he and a teammate were seen at the gym putting in extra shots, trying to get things right, Clark, and their shooting.
Well, that kind of work ethic is what professionals are supposed to have and model. After the game he had, I'm sure he would have wanted a chance to put up some extra shots as well. I mean, he struggled in that ball.
Makes a difference, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That extra time.
Greg Popovich with 15 straight 50-win seasons as head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. What a remarkable streak of success. And I don't really think folks understand what that level of consistency embodies. He's widely regarded as the best head coach in the NBA, and for good reason. He's the full package as a head coach.
It's Jackson with the drive. Here's Williams.
So now an opportunity to look at some of the stats on Patty Mills. How last month turned out for him, averaging 9 points per game, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And the numbers might not reflect it, but the effort's really been there for him. He's going to get rewarded soon enough if he keeps getting after it like he has been.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, Steve. He's been unlucky not to have filled up the stat sheet more because his play has really been sour. That was the third straight high percentage look this defense has allowed. I mean, these defenders have got to start bumping bodies in the paint. Be more physical, be more aggressive.
I agree, Clark, but it doesn't look like they have the will to do that at this moment.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Well, Kevin, as you know, Tony Parker is now an elder statesman in the NBA. His father feels as if he's been a mature force since he started playing at the French Training Institute. Parker's father said, quote, "I don't think you can get any more mature than that. Leaving home at 14, you have to become a man on your own. Guys?"
Thanks, Doris.
Tremendous dedication to the game. It's great to remember just how far he's come.
White, good.
White!
We've got 28 seconds left to play in the third. And the kid picks up the foul. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus. We'll go to the line to shoot two. First one falls for him. And the Pistons making a change here. Monroe's checked in. Splitter's checked in for San Antonio. 24 seconds left to play in the third. White dishes to Monroe. Here's Meeks. Count that one. Meeks got his second basket of the night.
Nice pass. That one was right on target.
San Antonio leading by 18. Mills passes to Bellinelli. Here's Diaw. The shot is off. Excellent D there from Williams. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Spurs out in front. They lead by 18. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from the Palace of Auburn Hills. While we have the chance. So for the Pistons, Drummond comes in for Sean Williams. And it's Jody Meeks in for Jackson. And San Antonio with the change here too. Boris Diaw's checked in for Duncan. On the court for San Antonio. In the backcourt, Parker and Ginobili. Under the three and Diaw the four. And it's Splitter in at the center position. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
That's his third personal foul.
And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for San Antonio.
Now we've seen them make that extra effort of rotating from the weak side, closing out on their airspace, really sending shots back.
You know, one other area they're doing well in is steals. I mean, they've knocked the ball loose a number of times and been able to track it down after the fact.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Sean Williams checks in for Meeks. And it's White in for Brandon Jennings. Pass to Caldwell Pope. Back to White. Shot clock at 6.
San Antonio foul call. Tony Parker. That's his second personal foul.
And the first one drops.
So far in the game for the kid, he's got 8 points, and he's added a steal to his stat line also.
Well, that's obviously not a big number, but he's been doing some valuable defensive work for him.
Now Ginobili. Pass to Diaw. And it's Parker in the corner. And stolen by White. On the wing, Williams. And again, it's the Pistons missing. San Antonio leading by 3. It's Ginobili with the drive. Out to Parker. Diaw, the screen. From downtown. The rebound by Caldwell Pope. Caldwell Pope's got his 4th rebound in this one. The kick out to Williams. Monroe down low. Diaw's there. And Monroe, the bucket on the assist from Williams.
We've seen a noticeable improvement out of him since halftime.
It's also for Detroit. Hart's checked in. The Spurs also changing it up. Tim Duncan, who's checked in for Splitter. Bellinelli comes in for Leonard. And it's Mills in for Manu Ginobili. It's Parker with the drive. And easy 2 points on the layup. Parker's got 20 points.
Well, he's so reliable when he gets in tight, guys, and that hoop there gives him a nice little cushion here late.
Williams kicks to White. Releases from 15. The rebound by the Spurs.
And you know why he was open there. They didn't commit too much defense to him, and you can see why. He has trouble making that shot.
Parker, a screen on Williams. And Mills kicks to Parker. Right at the free throw line. Here's Duncan. Nails it!
Giving them an opportunity at second chance points with some hard work on the glass there.
Last game for the Spurs. They want to turn it around after the loss to Indiana. And White kicks to Caldwell Pope. Williams in the post. Bellinelli is covering. Williams can't hit.
Well defended, and he's not someone who responds well to that kind of defensive pressure.
And an intentional foul right there. So the first one drops, and that increases their lead to 6. A different look now for San Antonio. Splitter is checked in for Dion. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Marco Bellinelli. And it's Ginobili in for Patty Mills.
He adds to their lead with a couple of solid free throws.
A different look here for Detroit. Anthony's checked in for Andre Drummond. Martin comes in for Monroe. And John Lucas is subbed in for Caldwell Pope. San Antonio also making some changes. Bonner, he's checked in for Splitter. Bellinelli comes in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Joseph in for Parker. Now here's Joseph. And the kid picks up the foul. That's his third foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall. And he ends up making the second, and that stretches their lead to 8. Off the mark. And so it's San Antonio with the win.
Well, Tony can...
Hey, boss, I came as soon as the trainer told me. What's going on?
I appreciate that about you. Since you've been here, you've been responsible, good teammate, hard worker, which makes this that much more difficult for me. As you know, your 10-day contract is up. You've done some good things, but we just don't see a place for you on this team moving forward.
But I thought I was holding my own.
Yeah, you were. But this is in a league of water carriers, and we need a lot more than that here.
I mean, but you never even told me what I need to do. If it's more weights, if it's sprints, if it's film room,
Son,
I mean, whatever.
The decision has been made, and who knows, maybe you'll catch on somewhere else, you know? But we appreciate the contribution, and it's time we parted ways.
Oh, you best remember this day, because it's the day that you made the biggest mistake of your career. I'm going to catch on with another team, and when we face you, I'm going to light it up. And with each point I score and each play I make, I'm going to just smile to myself knowing I'm making your life miserable. And whenever you wake up in the middle of the night in cold sweats, shivering and screaming, you're going to see my face, and you're going to know that you was dead wrong.
You be careful what bridges you burn.
Man, I ain't worried about no bridges. You better be worried about how I'm gonna torch your team next time I see you, punk.
Would you please put that controller down? We've got business to discuss. Now, there's an old saying I'm fond of. Beggars can't be choosers.
No, that's a cliche, and we're not beggars, so what else?
Yeah, we're not beggars yet, but we both will be if you don't start bringing in some of that do-re-mi, all right? Now listen. We've got another offer on the table, a 10-day deal. It's not with a contender, but there's another saying I'm fond of.
And what's that?
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I know it's not what you want, but it's a chance to compete, build a highlight reel, show all the GMs across the league what you can do. What do you say?
Man, I say I'm tired of this couch. Let's get back to work.